Welcome back to the Reading Royals weekly story series here on the People Chronicles. My name is Dylan Ward. I'm the Director of Fund and Community Relations, joined here by Royals forward Matt Hatch. Matt, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. So, if you don't mind, first start off a little bit about yourself, how you've joined the Reading Royals. This is your second season, correct?
Yes, sir.
Kind of go over how you've made it to being a professional hockey player.
Started off, I did 4 years at Union College in just outside of Albany, New York. Last year I signed with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms and came down here about October, midway through October. And spent most of the year here. So, it's good to be back. Pretty much my second full year here. It's nice to come back in the same area and have a lot of familiarity. So, I'm really happy to be back here.
Wonderful. Well, we're glad to have you back. You've had a great season so far. We're hoping that you can continue the streak. Kind of go over some of your community involvement with the Reading Royals.
I think there's a lot of different things, we as players do. For instance, going to schools, going to libraries, a lot of stuff with younger kids. That's kind of what I like to focus on. I love going into a library and, picking out a book and, reading it with kids. We've done that a few times this year. It helps, we do a lot of community events, signings and, appearances and, stuff like that. So I think just a lot of interaction with the community, a lot of FaceTime. I think it goes a long ways, not just for, the community, but for us as a team. Guys like getting out there and meeting people and, trying to give back a little bit.
Well, so you say that the players like to. What do you like about it the most, about getting out into the community?
For me personally, I think, like I said, I like going into schools and, dealing with young kids because, I kind of look back and I see myself as a young kid and, I had those hockey role models that came in and did the same thing for me. And, for me, I think that's kind of what put me on a path where I was able to, have the opportunity to play professional hockey is because, I had good role models and, successful people come in when I was young and kind of mold and, kind of show me what to do and, how to act. And so I think for me, it's kind of just going in and, showing young kids that, being a role model and, being an example in the community.
Wonderful. Well, many people might not know, but Matt is actually a national champion at Union College. That was in 2013, 14? 14.
Yep.
You played with some big names there, which was, I believe, Shane, right? Shane Gostisbehere as well. Yep. Can you kind of go over a little bit of what type of community involvement that you did there at Union?
A lot of the community involvement we did there, we go into older homes, assisted living homes. We'd go into the YMCA. We'd always do that every year. We'd go in and serve a Thanksgiving dinner. But you're not quite as involved as you are here in Reading. We're not quite as involved in college just because you have a full school schedule, academic schedule, as well as a full hockey schedule. So there's not a lot of time for that. A lot of guys did it on their own. Some one year we adopted a family during Christmas time and bought gifts for them and just kind of small things in college because you don't quite have the time that you do in professional. So it's actually kind of nice, to be able to give back a little bit more at the professional ranks than you can in college.
Okay. How's it helped you? What are you getting out of it that has made you, let's say, maybe a better person, or you said better role model? What have you learned or has been able to take from those experiences to make you who you are today?
Well, I think it's just you're able to see so much more, and you get to see perspectives of different people, and especially young kids who might be a little less fortunate. You go in and for instance, this year we did a calendar shoot with the Humane Society, and we worked with some younger kids, some kids with Down syndrome, and you get to see them hold a cat for the first time in their lives, and they never held a cat before, and they're so excited, and you kind of get to sit there with them and go through that enjoyment with them, and you get to see their teachers interact with them and kind of see a different side of life that certainly I'm not accustomed to, but it's just something that you get to be able to interact and the way that they interact back with you and kind of welcome you into their own family is kind of special.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is there something that that you have learned from becoming a professional when it comes to how the business itself, the Reading Royals, interacts with community members? Have you kind of learned on like a business stance on how important it is for a business such as the Reading Royals to be involved in the community?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think if you look at, you know, the Reading Royals versus, you know, the Philadelphia Flyers, you know, the Reading Royals aren't, you know, in it to make money. I think the Reading Royals are here to be a model for the community, you know, to join in, to do a military night, to do a breast cancer night, you know, to do an Autism Speaks night. You know, the Reading Royals are in this, you know, for the community and, you know, trying to revive the community here. So I think that, you know, when you look at it, I don't think it's as much of a business as the Reading Royals as it is for, you know, a community booster and a community rallying point.
So essentially the fact that a business using the community to get our name out there, that's probably the biggest thing that helps us utilize or helps us get the name out there and get us where we ultimately need to be is to stay afloat and, you know, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think the business side of, you know, the Reading Royals is probably secondary. I think, you know, community, you know, activism, stuff like that, where you can see yourselves, you know, helping people in the community by donating the jerseys or, you know, doing the jersey auctions and donating the proceeds is you're seeing that effect, you know, actually carried out. And I think that's, you know, it's kind of like special for us as players, you know, to be able to see that.
Wonderful. Has there been something since you've been here? I mean, last year was your rookie season. Now it's being your second year. You kind of feel a little bit more comfortable in the locker room and whatnot. But do you see anything on a community side, like maybe we could be from an outsider's, not because you're not essentially in the business side with technically where I am, but coming from as just a community member and whatnot, is there something that we could improve upon, or is there something that from a player side that maybe we could do differently that, you know, essentially we might not know about?
You know, I just think it's kind of, you got to keep going in the way that, you know, you want to kind of reach everyone. I think that there's a lot of times, you know, especially last year, you know, that we were going to the same libraries or to the same elementary schools, and I think, you know, that helps because, you know, those kids love to come and see you every time you're there. But I think at the same time, you know, if you kind of got out and reached a larger audience, you know, that could be beneficial as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Don't want to play favoritisms or anything like that,
Okay.
but is there something or one beneficiary that you kind of have your heart towards a little bit more than others, just because of something that you've been affected by personally, or?
I really like the military appreciation nights. Both my grandfathers, one of my grandfathers was in World War II, the other one was in Korea. I currently have a cousin in the Marines serving overseas now. So, you know, I really appreciate too, you know, every night we do a different military, you know, we honor a military veteran or even an active member. You know, so I think that's something that hits me kind of close, you know, especially with having a current relative in the military. You know, I really appreciate that, you know, the Royals, you know, include them in everything.
Is that something that you ever possibly considered? I mean, I know, you know, you're on the Star Trek to get to the NHL and whatnot, but is that something that you would ever consider, or is it something in, you know, while in college that you're thinking of maybe moving to after, you know, you get done your professional career?
No, I don't think that I'd ever be interested in, you know, joining in that kind of career path, but, you know, definitely assisting. You know, like I said, my cousin in the Marines, did a Wounded Warrior benefit where he rollerbladed across America, you know, and he, you know, benefited thousands of dollars, proceeds to the Wounded Warriors. So, I mean, that's definitely something that, you know, I could see myself, you know, jumping into and, you know, trying to help raise awareness for a cause.
Going into. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Matt, I appreciate you coming on board and discussing a little bit about how the Reading Royals get involved with the community here in Reading. So again, thank you again, and good luck the rest of the season. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. And if you have any questions, concerns, or need to buy any tickets, please call us at 610-898-PUCK. Thanks again.